Welcome to the Lights, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Lights, Camera, Rant. As always, I'm your wonderful host, Mr. Rant, and we have a lot to get through this episode. And we're going to be talking about a TV show that has been on the back burner for a little while for me to get onto, but we're going to be talking about The Studio starring Seth Rogen on Apple TV. But in this past week, holy shit, there has been so much news, some good, some confusing, a little bit more confusing, but there's been one announcement in the past week that's got me so excited to talk about with you guys that I need to chat about it. As soon as I woke up, over my Instagram and saw it, I was just like, holy shit. I've been waiting for this day for nearly 14 years. I think it adds up to be. I've been waiting for this day for this to be announced. In an entire era of TV shows having sequels, reboots, legacy sequels, soft reboots, which would technically this one is. We need to talk about this one right now. But look, if you haven't already, definitely go check out our past episodes from the past week where we reviewed the Running Man, reviewed the Running Man, and also the brand new Now You Can See Me 3, Now You Don't. These are really big films that have come out, and we need to chat about them. And if you haven't watched them, definitely go check out our Letterboxd reviews for them as well. And as always, thank you everyone who comes back for every single week. So pull up a drink and let's rant about the biggest news that happened the past week. Because there is a bit to go through that holy shit. So look, I'm gonna start off with my very first one that I can't wait to talk about with you guys, which is holy shit. This biggest one that we need to talk about, where'd this go? There we go. Biggest one we need to talk about is the brand new announcement of Stargate. A brand new Stargate TV show has been announced. I can't believe it. I woke up to this, saw on Instagram the fact that brand new announcement was being made, and I completely lost my mind. So it's been 14 years since the last Stargate TV show, which was Stargate Universe. Now, this is what I meant by the fact there's been so many TV shows that have had, and movies have had different reboots, reimaginings, sequel TV shows, but Stargate seemed to be one of those franchises that didn't get that same love at all, especially for it being one of the biggest sci-fi TV shows at the time. This one was massive. It took over Star Trek. It took over everybody at the time of its peak. It was on TV. Now, it was a sequel to the Stargate movie, taking a completely different direction because, Stargate, the original Stargate film that we were meant to get was meant to be a trilogy, but that never kind of resurfaced and it just got turned into a TV show. And I absolutely fell in love with Stargate. I love the fact it was in modern day and the fact that, it was just world building, so many different planets, cultures, everything. It was my generation for you if you're watching Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica. It was like one of my TV shows. That was what it was for me. And I remember staying up like every single night to go watch this. Every time it came on, unfortunately, when I was a kid, it went from being on at like 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock here in Australia. So it kind of get later and later. And unfortunately, the time it came on was the same time came on after The Amazing Race. If everyone remembers that show. And I watched so many seasons of that show because it came on before Stargate. So I was just watching it again and again. And trust me, I couldn't care about the winners. I couldn't care about who won, but I digress. So it just seemed the fact that all these shows were getting all these announcements and everything, another Star Trek TV show, Star Wars movies, and it just seemed like Stargate was just that little thing that kind of like just disappeared further and further down like, are we ever going to get another TV show or a movie? Because, and of course, at the time with MGM getting absorbed by Amazon, that was also kind of up in the air as well, especially from the last TV show, Stargate universe, that there was meant to be another TV show, another movie of Stargate SG-1 called Stargate Extinction, which was kind of meant to be another little wrap up of what happened with the Stargate program actually became nationwide knowledge. That was meant to be an entire movie. Stargate Atlantis was meant to get its own movie, but due to budget concerns and the reception of it with Stargate Universe, it never came to pass. So for 14 years, this iconic franchise has just been laying dormant for so long. And we were meant to get a Stargate SG-1 video game called, it wasn't Ascension, it was something Ascension like that. We were meant to get that. I remember the first trailer for that, but that never came to pass, which sucked because I remember seeing the first trailer for that and I was so hyped for it. I was like, holy shit, we're getting a Stargate video game. And that kind of never happened either. So it just felt like we were just getting robbed. But the thing, nothing wrong with Stargate. The numbers were there. Everything was there. It just seemed to, we just didn't get all of it. So in the past week, we've got an announcement of the fact that we are getting a brand new TV show. It's going to be on Amazon Prime. There is no release date, no numbers, no nothing, or anything like that. It's just an official announcement. And the fact that you've got the original creator is coming from the movie, Stargate movie, the original creators of the TV show, all coming aboard for this brand new TV show. All together, and the best part of it all, it is not a reboot. This was a question that was in the announcement, which thank God, it is not a reboot. It will be set in the Stargate universe and continue on the lore that's already built, which to me, I feel like that is the best thing that they could have done. Because if they did a complete reboot, which, at this point, 14 years later, 3 TV shows, that could have very been on the table. Amazon could have been like, nah, let's just reboot it for a fresh unit, for a fresh audience, and start, new team, new something, because it was all there. But the better decision is to do a legacy. It's not really a legacy, but another one in that same universe, I think, is the better position, because the fact that it brings in the new fans, it brings in the old fans, and that's what you want. You want a mix of everybody together to go to watch this, because that's what you want to see. So the question is, who are we going to get from the original shows? Are we going to find it happen with the end with Stargate Atlantis? Are we going to have it with Stargate Universe? Like the whole mixed bag of what this is going to be. And look, this is just an announcement. I'm probably going to take a stab and say we're probably not going to see this in 2027. But it's going to be very curious to see who's going to be cast in it, who's going to step up, and I'm going to lose my mind when they're going to release that first trailer. Like, that is just going to be wild to me. It sucks the fact they're going to have to watch it with ads in between. Also like to say hi to Seva Mark SP1. I think I've got that right. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, ranters and rantettes, we go live every single week to talk about the latest news and review about the latest movies and TV shows that we're getting into. So always definitely do come past, and new episodes come out every single Tuesday. So it's always a pleasure to see everybody who's new, old faces, and everything in between, especially if you do have a drink. But yeah, so I'm excited for the entire week to talk about this. It's just, and something I didn't think the fact that we would get an announcement for a brand new Stargate TV show in 2026, and I already saw 2025, and I already saw the meme saying the fact that we got a Stargate announcement of a brand new TV show before we got GTA 6. I saw that comment on YouTube. I'm like, of course I did. Of course there's that comment going around, but it's just going to be exciting because there's going to be so much they could do. They can do so much more now. And I know some people didn't like Stargate. Of course, I don't like anyone, but I hope this captivates a brand new generation. The fact that you have so many people on board, that this new season is a love letter to the fans. And this is to try and bring out and to just try and say thank you for everything for this universe. How long it's been going? Look, I don't know if they're going to get Richard Dean Anderson to come back for the show because he's been well retired from acting. But you could get Christopher Judge, I'm sure, and Man Tapping, Michael Shanks. I'm sure the hell they're in 100%. And there's like Atlantis people as well. There's just so many which characters are going to pop up going back into this universe. It's just awesome. I'm so excited to see what this is going to look like. The fact it's going to be backed by Amazon money, so that's exciting to see. That's going to be Amazon money. I'm really hoping, stretch it out, but I'm really hoping the fact that this just gets the best reviews. It is fantastic, and it's in the same breath as the Fallout TV show that we're going to be getting. And look, also potentially because Amazon also have the rights to the God of War TV show as well. Potentially that could be Christopher Judge doing that, and Stargate. That'd be a very busy time for him. But I'm so excited to see what this is going to be. It's one of my all-time favorite TV shows, and the fact that we've got the announcement this is coming. Oh my God, this is great. This is just awesome. So awesome to see. But look, I digress. That's on the horizon. And something that's big on the horizon is the Gundam movie. That's live action that is coming out. No official release date, but it's currently in the works. Sydney Sweeney has been cast in the film, and we also do have Noah. Damn it, his last name just escaped me, but he's actually going to be starring in the brand new reboot of Rambo in the prequel movie that's going to be working. He was also the Adam in the Black Adam movie because we all watched the Black Adam movie because of how bloody fantastic that was, because that was just brilliant, wasn't it? It was one of the best movies that year. Black Adam. That was just brilliant. One of the best roles, The Rock. No, not at all. So it's gonna be interesting. When I did see the fact that he was in it, I was like, okay, cool. And then seeing Sydney Sweeney, and I'm like, right, okay, how is this? And how that's so exciting that this movie is getting made. Like, I'm a big fan not a big fan, but I'm a fan of the TV show. It's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna be slightly different to, of course, Pacific Rim, because that all kind of stems in that, and like Transformers as well. So it's interesting where it's going to have look. But don't you worry, Sydney Sweeney is in the movie, so I'm sure those numbers are going to roll in. Speaking of numbers, House of the Dragon Season 4 has been officially confirmed, and is going to be on the horizon. So we will be seeing Season 3 in 2026, and we'll see Season 4 in 2028. So don't you worry. The Game of Thrones universe is well strong, and we will be getting that for another 2 years still coming forward. Also, F1 fans, Josuke has recently said that talks for the sequel are heavily at the moment going into the sequel for one of the best movies for 2025, which is the Formula One movie. That is definitely on the horizon. It is coming. Apple has greenlit it, which is no surprise right there. So, and trust me when I say this is one of the best films of the year. I highly recommend that you go give this a watch, because trust me when I say it's just the back of Hans Zimmer. You've got the director who's done Top Gun 2. This is well worth that price of admission, especially the fact that December the 14th or 15th, it will be streaming on Apple TV. So definitely go check that out. I will be as well. But for all the fans, F1 2, I'm pretty sure they're going to have to do like F1, a new generation or a new legacy, or final race. I don't think they'll just be able to do F1 2. I feel like that's not really printable material or marketing material, if you will, at the box office. So it'd be very interesting. But another TV show that is getting greenlit for Season 3 is Peacock's Twisted Metal. Season 3 has been confirmed. We got Season 2 this year, which ended on a bang, but we will be getting Season 3. So at this stage, very much, we probably will not see this until 2027. It'll be arriving. But don't you worry, Twisted Metal fans. More Twisted Metal is coming. It was an interesting final to the last season. Definitely loved the world of Twisted Metal. Can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next season, especially the fact potentially this is basically Twisted Metal Global or Twisted Metal Worldwide or World Tour, if you will, in this next race or this post-apocalyptic world. So definitely time to check in. If you don't like it, that's fair, but it's well worth the watch, especially if you like Deadpool. You just get that big Deadpool vibes. Now, speaking of vibes, it's going to be very depending on the person you talk to. Is that there's also been announced that apparently they were going to make a Last Ronin movie with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is based on the infamous comic, which is going to be a lot more darker, a little bit more gritty, very much like Logan style, which a lot of people were excited for. However, apparently that's been shelved, so the fact that we could get a live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that's been Sonicified in that same type of universe, and what we begin. So basically, live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's like a comedy of them going into the real world. That's technically what we're going to be getting. And we did get the 2 live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies where we did get that. I'm like, okay, we already got that. Last Ronin was going to be something a little bit different and would have been a lot better. So this is probably just a little bit of announcement that was just a bit like, well, why are we getting this? Like, who really wants it? Like, who's really clamoring for another live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Like, we did get the anime movie just last year, which was great. But yeah, I don't know really how I feel about this next one because I'm like, Last Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which one would you prefer? Kind of sucks. So it's really going to be curious as how this is going to look. Are they going to, who's going to be casting this? What's the degree of Sonicified that they meaning? It's one of those announcements that you get and you're just like, why? When there's so much other things that people could pick from to make, or you already said the Last Ronin, which had people behind it, so why? But I can tell you straight up, I am not looking forward to that at all. But what I am looking forward to is, now we've reported the other week the fact that there was going to be a 4th Mummy movie that was going in the works. This was a rumor. However, in the past week, Brendan Fraser has officially confirmed that the Mummy 4 is well in works. He is on board for this. He's going to do what he needs to again, get into shape for everything with the stunts. He is fully on board with this, and I cannot wait. The fact that we've got from the horse's mouth that the Mummy 4 is in production. And on top of that, you're going to probably watch this movie and be like, that's the bloody movie we should have got, not the Tom Cruise one. Not the Tom Cruise one. And don't forget, there is another Mummy movie coming out next year that's going to be really dark and gritty. Not connected to this at all. Is by the Evil Dead director. He's currently working on that. So don't you worry about that one, but the Mummy 4. So if we're looking into advance, the way I'm going to say this is that you're looking at 2027. See, that's even to a stretch. I'll say 2028 is when we'll probably go to see this film, which is 3 years away. But then again, we don't know what the current how much is working on the moment, but it's definitely in the works. It's officially confirmed. I am over the fucking moon for this, and I really can't wait. It's been a great, it's funny. It's been a really a great week of announcements of just like F1, Twisted Metal Season 3, House of the Dragon Season 4, brand new Stargate TV show, Paramount with the Sonifying of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, maybe not so much, but everything else, that's a bloody win. Also, now, this could be stretched in different ways. Don't know how you're going to work it out, how it's going to situate. But the HBO CEO has discussed the fact that the break or the period between season 1 and season 2 of the brand new Harry Potter TV show that's well in production at the moment apparently will be really short. Yo, man, how you going? Finally catch you live. Yes, Mr. LJ Films S1. Yes, you did. Sorry, yes, you did. I know we've been trying to do this for a little while, man. I know. I've tried. We've been talking about this, but I'm glad you're here. We're just talking about the brand new Harry Potter TV show that apparently the CEO said that they're going to try and keep the break between season 1 very short. Because ideally, though, the best way to be doing this would be trying a season of Harry Potter every single year, but that's not going to happen because of the fact that production value and it is being, special effects heavy. So you're expecting it every 2 years would be the perfect way to do it, which is currently what we're getting at the moment. For example, like Fallout came out in 2024, and we're getting this one right now. People complain about shows taking ages to make, but it's not TV shows of the 90s. Every week is basically a movie. It's right. You're 100% right, man. There's a lot more that needs to be done to make these TV shows, Game of Thrones, shows like that. It takes a lot longer. But the hard thing is, like, I do get is the fact that if you're waiting like 3 years for a TV show to come out, because it's hard, because then it breaks the hype for it, because you're like, oh, yeah, how you can have this amazing, which we've seen a lot lately. We get this amazing TV show. You get this amazing 10 episodes of a show. It's fantastic. You're clamoring for it. You can't wait. And then you turn around like, you're going to go in for 3 more years. You're like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, you're not going to get it for 3 more years. It takes time. Oh, okay. So in that time, you're going to completely forget about it. And then when it does come out, you'll be like, oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember when that came out. Jeez, that was long ago. Wow. TV shows, I feel, at least to try and do like 2 years, no more than 3 years. But, in saying that, they did have to strike. That kind of fumbles things and throw things off. So that's understandable. So that makes sense. That makes sense when the striking in. A lot has happened to the movie industry since post-COVID. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of sad at the same time. Especially the fact that when we go back into it, when we're going to be looking into a TV show later in this episode, where we're actually going to talk about a TV show that kind of reflects that on the highs and lows of what Hollywood is dealing with at the moment. So it's gonna be interesting to go into. But look, I know a lot of people aren't really excited for the brand new Harry Potter TV show. It's kind of got mixed feelings because of the cast, kind of a little bit different. We're going Stephen Thang. Go to sleep, dude. It's very late. But it's not late enough. Like, we're gonna keep going, mate. Doesn't matter. Ranting does not sleep at all, especially when we're talking about movies. So I give, this is what a lot of people like. I give Harry Potter TV show a chance. It's gonna be not to everyone's cup of tea, especially the fact that my generation, kids, we grew up on the original Harry Potter films. Is this going to have new themes? Theme music. How is this going to feel and look? Is it going to look too? That's the right way I'm looking for, like, too modernized in a sense that it doesn't feel like it has that magic, and the scary thing is that they're going to plan to do a season for every single book. So it's going to be for the next 10 years, for the next 10, 12 years, we're going to getting Harry Potter. It's well set. If the production level, the reception is there, for the next 12, 13 years. It's going to be constant Harry Potter through HBO. I'm hyped for Harry Potter because of John Lithgow as Dumbledore. Need him to live long enough to see him fight Voldemort in the Order of the Phoenix. Yes, we do. There is 110% the fact that he does, and he's John Lithgow has even said in his interview about playing Dumbledore is that it was very hard for him because he's like when he signed on, well, when he was about to go sign on for it, he's like, this is going to be probably his final acting acting credits because that's going to be taking over his next 12 years of his life. That's right. There will be more detail. Kenny, the critic, 1439. There will be more detail. Nothing will be skipped over. I'm excited about that, and I am too. Like I am too for the Harry Potter, and that's what I do like because we do know when when books go to movies, there's always things that are left out, whether we like it or not. Just to try and obviously fit in, you try and fit a book into a movie. Things do have to get trimmed, or it will just be too long. And they have said that, one of the mission statements for this TV show is that they really want to cover the books better, more entirely, especially for the characters that were missed, things that they just had to cut because it just didn't work. So there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot in these in the brand new Harry Potter TV show. It's just I just feel for the kids, being child actors. I do wish them all the best. It was also that Daniel Radcliffe said in an interview that he did send a letter to the brand new Harry Potter and told them what to do about just enjoy it. And because the kids, it's going to be they're going to grow up with this. This is their next 12 to 15 years of their lives. The fact that you're Harry Potter from the TV show. Not the Harry Potter because they always go to Daniel Radcliffe, but I feel for him. If Harry Potter show looks as good as the House of Dragon, I'm in. And that was a classic move from Radcliffe to contact the actor. It was. That was, and I probably would do the same if I was in his spot too. Especially how life-changing Harry Potter did to him and his entire life. And for those kids, just what's that going to mean? And they're going to really want to make sure the fact that there's no recasting, there's definitely no recasting, that you guys are going to be Hermione and Ron and Harry for the entire duration for the show. But God, when 12 years, how old am I? God, I'm going to be, that's a horrible thing. I'm going to be like 45. I'm 45 when potentially that we get to the Deathly Hallows at the rate the TV shows get made, which is terrifying and so scary to think about. And then, because what was the other day? It was 20 or 18 years. It was 18 years since. I'm going to be 49. Yeah, see, man, how bad does that feel? I feel terrible. And not to mention as I was going to say, the other day I saw someone tweeted it's been like 18 or 19 years since Goblet of Fire. I'm like, oh my God. Hang on, was it where are we? Goblet. I do not want that. Goblet of Fire. Yeah. Yep. Goblet of Fire was 2005. Just let that sink in, ranters and rantettes. That is 2005 that came out. Wow. That's just insane to think about how long ago that was. But at this stage, we still do not have we do not have a release date officially. I think it's 2027. 2027 that we should be getting the TV show coming out, which I assume it would be Where are you? I swear I saw it the other day. All right, TV show. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, 2027 it is, 100%. Aside from Dumbledore versus Voldemort, the graveyard scene in Goblet of Fire is my favorite. 100%. I'm right there with you. But yeah, definitely 2027 for the first episode to air for the Harry Potter TV show, which I know, as I said in my previous episodes, is that HBO Max will be throwing so much money at this. So much money for it. So early 2027, mid 2027. And the first season will be conducted of 8 episodes. So not 10 episodes, just 8 episodes for the Harry Potter TV show. Let's see what the gap's going to be. Also, in the past week, Chadwick Boseman has been honored at the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He officially got his star. It's very tragic what's happened to him, but it's a well-deserved Walk of Fame for him. Sorry, star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I think the man did a great job with the movies he's did, his dedication, his acting. It's always a damn shame the fact of what he was, Black Panther 3, the other movies that he would have starred in because he was still so young, and Avengers going forward as Black Panther, Black Panther 2, say what you want to say about that film, but like it did hurt because of what really happened. Like it really did hurt, and it's generally sad and dedicated. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Of course, with Black Panther 3, because Ryan Coogler has mentioned the fact that is his next film that he will be cooking up. So that would be good to see. But yes, our thoughts and prayers are with the Boseman family. But he has been honored on the Walk of Fame. I'm sure that will be visited a lot in next coming months and years to come. So definitely do, all thoughts from here for the Lights Camera Rant family, to the Boseman family, for him. But moving on, we've also got the announcement, sorry, of the nominees for the Game of the Year for 2025, which is scary. It's just wild to me that we're 4 weeks away from Christmas. My weeks are getting so busy and chucked up at the moment, and this is December the 5th. The Game Awards will be hosted, and we'll find out who will be the Game of the Year of this year. That being Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, as well. So, and look, Tim, it's a tough one. It's a tough one of who's going to take the cake for that. And I say that's going to be hard. Next year is going to be even harder because of GTA 6, and I'm sure there will be an absolute uproar if GTA 6 doesn't take it. But to me, if you take out one, I feel like the winner is going to be Expedition 33. The reviews for that, like the hype, but people generally talking about that, has just been off the chart for that incredible game. I know Death Stranding 2 was really good, but I feel like Expedition 33 kind of had the bigger impact. Like Donkey Kong Bonanza was good, but it's good but not great. Hollow Knight, that was really good. That was Hades 2 was good. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I know that caused a big upstir, which is really good as well. But yeah, to me, Expedition 33, we'll find out coming into this. It's going to be interesting to see what it's going to be doing, like who's going to win it. And then obviously next year is absolutely stacked. It is so stacked for next year that the winner for next year is going to be even harder. But yeah, I'd love to know in the comments, what do you guys think is going to be the Game of the Year? Do you think they missed one, which is always happens? There's always a game they always do miss because these are essentially the Oscars of gaming. So there's always something in the background of people who should get it but don't get it. I'd love to know what you guys think of what should be the game of the year. But yeah, December 5th, lock that in. And also, speaking of locked it in for November 2026, God, next year for movies, my wallet is crying right now because of what is on the rise for next year. My wallet is just, wow. There is just so much going into this for next year. Both movies, TV shows, which, we have those episodes planned for first week. The first week of next year, we are going to be diving in to what the biggest movies and TV shows and video games that you need to keep an eye out for, because it is stacked to Rooney for all this. So Hunger Games, so brand new Hunger Games, which is a sequel to the one we got 2 years ago. It is before the Jennifer Lawrence ones. It's set about 24 years for it, but it's the Hunger Games. It is the Hunger Games on the Sunrise on the Reaping, which is based on the brand new book as well, to see what's going to be coming up. So we got the brand new trailer. This is going to be following Hamish, which we did obviously saw him in the original trilogy, original quadrilogy, if you will. What we did get for this film, but it's just just seeing the trailer going back into the Hunger Games world is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how this has been received, because again, you guys it goes to a good cast with this. I did like the one that came out 2 years ago, but I didn't really like. I wasn't like, wow. Considering the other Hunger Games as well, I keep forgetting the fact that we've got all the Hunger Games. We got the one 2 years ago, Ballad of Songbirds, and then we're getting this one, just showing you how big next year. But look, the box office for this is gonna be a little bit touch and go, because this is going to be coming out at the same time as Dune 3 and Avengers Doomsday coming around that same period of time. So the box office is going to be very interesting for this one. But how do you guys feel about going back into the Hunger Games world once again? Do you clamor for it? Do you really want it? Obviously the money is there. Lionsgate has mentioned that because of the other ones did really well. But watching the trailer, it's good. I like it. I'm going to focusing on Hamish for this one because he was such a good character in the original trilogy. Quadrilogy. So it wasn't really quadrilogy. It was done. He was really good in that. His character was very interesting, especially from the first movie when he was first introduced. So I'm up for it. I'm up for it. I'm gonna watch it. But I totally forgot this was actually in production at all, to be honest. Because the other one came out 2 years ago. So this was I was like, oh wow, okay. Oh, that's because I saw the trailer drop and I was like, oh yeah, totally forgot they're making a new one. But yay, I'm all up for it. And they're gonna if they make another sequel again, what's gonna be the gap again going to that first one? So it's gonna be interesting. But yes, that's coming out in November next year. We got the new trailer, so we're gonna be going into that. Now let's talk about this TV show. Let's talk about The Studio by Seth Rogen. Now this came out March this year, and look, I'm gonna be honest. It's been on my watch list, my back burner watch list for so long. Every time I've gone to go watch this, something else has had to come through, or there's been a new season. In between, how it's going to. I didn't know how it was going to be, and it's just the other TV shows that come through again and again and again and again. And I was like, no, I'm gonna watch it, because it was Daredevil, Spider-Man, Alien Earth, Twisted Metal. There's just been things that have come through, of course, movies. But this TV show just cleaned up, didn't it, this year? This TV show with 23 nominations, it won 13 Emmys. It's been greenlit for a season 2. and also broke the record for most wins for a comedy TV show in a single season. Like, just drop, bang, here we go, right there. Like, here's all the awards, here's everything. It's so good. And then Seth Rogen basically dropping the mic, I'm out, boom, straight off. So it's just been one of those nuggets that I'm like, and I think it's, don't get me wrong, it's been shown by a lot of people, have watched it, but not as many as I thought I'd be. Like, in my local circles of movie fanatics and TV show fanatics, not a lot have watched it. So I was curious to see that it's something that's been so well received, even from like people who I aren't really big in movie TV show enthusiasts, haven't watched it either. So I was like, okay, curious the fact something's cleaned up so well. And obviously it's been watched by thousands, but generally sometimes the TV show comes out that people just start talking to me about before I even realize how good it is. Straight away. Like, I remember the first time someone told me about what was Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso came out. I didn't really think didn't think about it twice about it. It was just a soccer TV show, but there was general hype about it. People were talking about it. That you really need to watch it. Another one would be Adolescence that came out early this year. This just fantastic. You need to watch it. That was very dark and grim and gritty, but it was shot very well, especially for something that was only 4 episodes. And I still stand by the fact that the 3 episodes of that are fantastic. The last episode is boring as batshit. Like, it's so drawn out. Like, I understand the message it was trying to send, but I'm like, could have cut it by at least 30 minutes. Like, you could have pulled it back. Like, there was no need for that to be as long as that was. So, and on top of that, with this TV show, is that I also saw a TikTok that went viral with Seth Rogen, who's at a party, obviously playing this character, playing Matt Ramick, playing him and saying the fact, trying to justify movies to people. Like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? And I was like, wow, that is me to a T when I go to a party and I barely know anyone. I start talking about movies. It's my go-to thing. I'm like, if someone starts talking about something, like, so what have you watched recently? What are you watching at the moment? Do you need any TV show recommendations? I am your man. Why I tip my hat like this a little bit to see what they like into. So this year we're going to go in spoiler territory. So definitely spoilers left, right, and center. So Matt Ramick, he has been officially a appointed new studio head of Continental Studios, and he has always wanted this role. He gets the role, but he's met with just a wave of problems, IPs of trying to run a movie studio. And the funny thing is, this TV show also made me go back and fire up on my old computer. There's a game called The Movies. It was fantastic. It is a darn shame the fact you can't get on Steam or anywhere. You can only get on a physical copy. This is a game that deserves to be on Steam because so many people buy this. I've been trying to find another game like it, but nothing's been on that same detail, this level. It was called The Movies. And so definitely go check that out. Kenny the Critic, how do you think movie theaters will be affected if Netflix buys WB? And look, this is a hot topic right now, and it's interesting because there's been Netflix have spoken about it. There's also been Skydancer. They've also put in a bid. Universal as well. But as a movie theater, you've got to be nervous if Netflix does buy it. You have to be, because movie theaters have already been struggling ever since COVID. I've seen so many movie theaters close down because rising costs, rising living, stature of living. Sorry. And we've also seen everything that's happened in overstates with their theaters as well, and trying to get people to watch more movies instead of straight to streaming, which is really hard, especially when you have like Disney Plus. That's like, the movie came out in January, it'll be in streaming in March or May. So the runtime of movies to theaters has been greatly decreased. But like Netflix is probably the least person I would like to buy WB. I was having this conversation with a friend the other day, and we were opposing arguments with this. So my thing was, I only being a comic book fan, just that's why I would like Disney to buy WB, because we were able to see Batman and Wolverine and Superman and Iron Man on the big screen together, which would be insane and print money. And not to mention, I would be able to watch all the superhero films on one streaming platform. But at the same time, that would also mean the fact Disney would be like, well, we're jacking this up by another $10 because you're about to get a shitload more content. So that will happen. But take it away, Skydancer, Paramount would have been good, Superman and Optimus Prime, like that would have been great to see. But I always feel like Paramount could use the WB characters and catalog a lot for them, obviously being backed by Skydancer. But then again, Netflix has been struggling a little bit. They were the very first on the market, being a streaming TV movies and TV shows platform, video games now. But now there's so many that they've had to try, which either bring video games, they've had to rethink the wheel entirely. But if Netflix does buy WB, they would be in prime position. Like, this would just give them so much meat. And it's funny, on paper, if you were telling me to look at it, I'd say WB is bigger than Netflix. But it's just a shame, the fact that WB is in this position. And then you got Sony in the corner. It's like, nah, we don't want a part of it. Now we're good. We got the PlayStation, and we got the Legend of Zelda movie coming out. We're pretty good, which is such a wild thing to me. The fact that the Legend of Zelda movie is being distributed by Sony, that's wild to me. But yeah, sorry, going back to the studio, that if you are a movie lover, if you love TV shows, and you love that behind the scenes of filmmaking, like, this is just an absolute love letter of a TV show. And it's shot very much like Adolescence as well, just that one continuous take. And it really does show in Seth Rogen's, when he's stressed, he's happy, the fact that everything's happening in real time. I just think to myself, wow, just the fact that had the concentration that you have to do that. And the fact that we get cameos from some, really big actors and directors, and they've joined in this. I can't imagine who they're going to have in season 2. And I found myself laughing, sad, and just so switched on. It's been a while for me when I've been so glued to a TV show and done such a big binge on it. Not to mention the suits, the costume design for this was all fantastic, especially when Seth Rogen, every episode he was just in a suit. I'm like, wow, that looks really good. And pretty sure he's really become a suit. What's the word I'm looking for? Cosier, or like suave. Like, he's really going just what he's been wearing. And this just show just does that fantastic of blurring the lines between reality and between what's real, what does happen. And it does show that these are going to feel the stresses of, for example, like one of the first episodes is the fact that they need to, they want to film rights for Kool-Aid Man to make it like be the next, what was it? Be the next Super Mario movie. Like that's kind of what they wanted it to be. And especially Matt Reming's like, no, I want, he's done this whole article about how he wants to bring real cinema back, true stories. And in fact, he's got to do this, not because he really wants to, but then that turns into a whole mess. Of course, and also the threat of like AI and what that does to movie theaters, and obviously production costs, money, on that side of things. And also which what we're talking about right now with WB and Netflix is when companies go buy movie studios. At the end of this episode season, it's all about Amazon buying Continental. They'll all be out of jobs unless they've got a full slate. So it does that great job of blowing the lines. And the episodes only go for 30 to 40 minutes. So it doesn't go for too long, but you do get enough episodes. Not to mention when they also, one of the best episodes is when they're trying to cast the Kool-Aid movie, and they're like, oh, we got this person of color, we got this person, like, oh no, maybe they all need to be color. Oh no, we need to check with everybody, and that turns into a whole mess. And the whole list of people that come into this show. You've got Seth Rogen, Catherine O'Hare, Catherine Hahn, Bryan Cranston. You got Dave Franco, Zoe Kravitz. You've got on top of that Steve Buscemi, Anthony Mackie, Ice Cube, Joey Knoxville, Zac Efron, Oliver Wilde, Ron Howard. The Ron Howard episode was funny as shit. Anthony Starr, Aaron Sorkin, like it is Adam Scott. The list in this is stacked. It is, and it's so worth it. And absolutely props for what this is such a good job. And it's so refreshing to watch a TV show like this that's just fresh, new, creative, and a little bit different. Again, I don't usually watch anything on Apple TV, but between this and F1, I had to get Apple TV again because I used to have Apple TV for Ted Lasso. Then I I got rid of it. But now I'm like, okay, we're gonna stay on Apple TV. But nothing seems too long for the show. Don't get me wrong, there's a couple episodes I felt were a bit like, I guess that was funny, but then there was other episodes where I was pissed myself laughing. Even my wife was like, I'm like, this is good. She didn't really partake in it. It wasn't her cup of tea. She's more of Downtown Abbey type of person. But as a film lover, as a film goer, like this was just so good. And since finishing the show, I've recommended this to to 20 people already, even just texting like, you need to check this out. And it's funny because one of the biggest comments I get back from people is, I don't have Apple TV. Can I borrow yours? I'm like, no. No, you can't, because of the fact that Apple TV is really hard and they get onto it so quickly. But the core cast is fantastic. The chemistry between all of them, the fights they have, especially when the episodes where Matt Roman Khan takes a background character. The Ron Howard episode is fantastic. But all together, and what brings a whole team in a movie together, and of course, what the meaning of a Hollywood buffet turns into a whole thing, because it wouldn't be a Seth Rogen project if people aren't getting high or on mushrooms or pot, or somehow they're getting too much. Apple TV quality is amazing. It is. Ted Lasso is fantastic. The other show I did watch, it was with Jason Momoa. That was great. That only lasted, I think, 3 seasons. That was really cool. So yeah, the Apple TV is really, and this, as I said, 10 episodes. I can't wait for season 2. It's unfortunately we're not going to get into like 2027, 2028, if that. But who's going to pop into this is going to be really cool. But trust me, it is well worth to punch that ticket or sign up to Apple TV for this. You will not be disappointed. It is a particular humor, but trust me when I say is that it will get you all the way to the end. especially the whole wondering of, I know I wrote off some names for this, but for other names as well of who might appear on the TV show. But trust me, again, Apple, F1 fantastic, Studio fantastic, Apple TV is currently on the horizon, especially it's going to be for hopefully on the rise as well. Again, it's Amazon for Fallout TV show that's coming out at the end this year. The only sucky thing about the Apple is for Fallout Season 2 is that it's weekly. That's what really annoys me. But trust me, a studio, definitely go give it a crack. It is well worth it. Definitely. And look, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ranters and rantettes, as always, I've been your wonderful host, Mr. Rant, and that is my review for the studio. And I appreciate for everyone who's come past every single episode. And thank you for everyone who's come past for this episode too. Especially you, man. Especially you. I'm glad that you finally be able to come into this episode. And a Yappuccino is my favorite drink. I'm right here. Yappuccino, right here. Except I would call it more of a Rantuccino. A Rantuccino. It'll be tall. It'll be spicy. It'll be great. Rantuccino. I'm also going to type that into ChatGPT because I'm pretty sure that's going to give me a fantastic look of what a Rantuccino is going to look at. So definitely. And look, thank you everybody. And as always, until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.